Marty here with you at Warehouse and Operations as a Career. Let's see, what week are we in now? 42. Wow, we have 10 weeks left to hit our goals this year. I have a quick topic that I'd like to talk about today, but first I wanted to share that it's really been a tough week this week. Sometimes we all just have to kind of shake our heads. No matter how hard we try to understand something, it seems to just not make sense to us. As you know, I'm fortunate enough to work with individuals in about 5 different states. Now, cultures are different, even within the state sometimes. We talk a lot about all the rules or procedures we have to live by or follow in our industry, and there's really a lot of them. We know them. We know about them. Shoot, we've signed off on most of them. This week I've heard about 7 people that lost their jobs, their incomes, and each of them would have to say that they had actually quit or terminated themselves. I think that's what's so hard for me to wrap my mind around. I'm being told that every one of them were shocked or kind of got upset about it. One individual had his 4th no-call, no-show in a 13-week period, and he'd been coached, on paper now, 3 times about the importance of being at work every day and how his shift really counted on him. He had even agreed that it was his responsibility to call the supervisor, and he had committed that he was going to do it. And yet, he was shocked and kind of got angry when his manager called him in to let him go. I heard about 3 people in 2 different states at 3 different facilities, quit if you will, when they were caught wearing their earbuds in the warehouse. All 3 buildings have a no cell phone, no earbuds policy, but each of them do allow associates to go to a break room during breaks and lunches to check their phones. Well, these individuals had been cautioned at least twice before. One of them had signed 3 different coaching sheets even. They each lost their jobs over listening to music or talking on the phone at times they knew it was against policy. And I'm not even going to really get into the safety and distraction aspect of it. It's just dangerous, on equipment being distracted. And then I heard about 2 people that quit their jobs. I just can't bring myself to say that they were terminated. Anyway, 2 people lost their jobs due to attendance issues. And I'm not talking about missing a scheduled day here and a scheduled day there. Both of these individuals had been counseled and signed that they understood the burden placed on the shift when they're, not there. At least 4 and 5 times each, respectfully. And another person got really upset to the point of being insubordinate with her immediate supervisor over being moved from the dry area to the cooler repack department. And now this was only going to be for an hour. She'd been asked to cover lunch breaks for 2 different people. I guess the part I can't wrap my arms around is that we were looking for work. We were excited when we found our jobs, and we had agreed to all these rules and policies. We understood them until they didn't fit our needs as individuals. All these employees had worked for their employers for just under 6 months. I guess I wonder how we can get so comfortable with our jobs, to think that the rules just don't apply to us in only 6 months. I myself have been doing this for several decades, and I still take it seriously and stay focused as possible every day. Well, enough of all that, and kind of my apologies for ranting a little bit. So back to the positives in our careers. I was asked about training and those occasional courses that we all have to attend. Sometimes they're going to be regulatory, things we need to know to safely perform our task and or to protect others, maybe our company's customers or the end user of our products. And our companies can develop training programs that they feel can help us in business and many times even in our personal lives. As we progress through the different positions in our industry or accept promotions, we'll find there's always going to be something to learn. And that's a good thing. Maybe a bit stressful for us, but a good thing all in all. A lot of people can really struggle sitting in a classroom watching videos, or having an instructor sharing new information with us. Ever seen someone really struggling to keep their eyes open? They're not really sleeping, they just can't keep their eyes open. And there's tricks to get us through a long class on procedures, policies, and instructional classroom work. First, it's perfectly fine to stand up for a minute. Walk over to the side of the room, or maybe go to the back and stand for a while. You know, a little blood movement can go a long way. Of course, we all know it's important to pay attention, but I find it's easier to keep my focus if I'm writing things down. Taking notes helps me stay interested in the subject. We all know we're there because it's important. I assure you, the company is not gathering us up and paying us for our time if they do not feel we need to know what it is that they're telling us. And as we grow within the company, there's going to be so much that we'll need to know to better perform our duties. And safety programs and policies are always going to change and improve. We'll need to stay up to date. And I think it's great we're seeing more and more organizations sharing information with us. If we're moving into a lead or a supervisor position, we're going to be attending even more meetings like that. A couple of weeks ago, a gentleman reached out to us about some classes he'd need to take for a new position that was offered to him. Speaking with him, I realized there's really a lot of information relayed to us as associates, really at every department level. If we're equipment operators, we all know that we're going to need our PIT or powered industrial truck training. We've all heard of the OSHA standard 29 CFR 1910.178. And there's a whole list of things our management teams will be sharing with us. Think about how much we're taught about sanitation and keeping our equipment and aisles clean. Anyone ever heard not to step on a case or never place a case on the floor? Or how about to never stand a pallet on its edge? Anyone ever talk to you about running over shrink wrap? That's all sanitation. If you're in the food service industry, you'll be learning about HACCP, or Hazard Analysis Critical Control Points, and maybe even the country of origin for quite a few products. Wikipedia will tell us that HACCP is a systematic preventative approach to food safety from biological, chemical, and physical hazards in production processes that can cause the finished product to be unsafe, and designs measures to reduce these risks to a safe level. And then we'll hear something about bloodborne pathogens in our company's programs. We'll all learn something about, and OSHA requires us to know that bloodborne pathogens are infectious microorganisms in human blood that can cause disease in humans. Oh, and we'll probably attend a course on allergen control programs. The allergen control plan is kind of like a written document outlining controls put in place regarding the storage, handling, and processing of allergens, and the identification of places where cross-contact is likely to occur. There's a really good article on foodallergy.org. You ought to check that out. And of course, we'll all attend some hazard communication training. HAZCOM is a U.S. regulation that governs the evaluation and communication of hazards associated with chemicals in the workplace. We as employees have a right to know what chemicals are in our facility. And this is where we'll learn about our SDS books. I suggest each of us know where these sheets are located and really get to learn how to use them. There's so much we learn, classes if you will, that we need to take seriously and absorb when offered the opportunities. Every day, even in our day-to-day duties, think about it. We're learning something new every day. I know we here at WAOC are always talking about learning and self-educating. I would encourage you to take every class your company offers, and if you're interested in something, check it out online. Your goal is to be the best of the best, and what better way than to be the most informed team member on your shift? Well, that'll do it for today, I guess. I got a little long-winded, but I like talking about learning. If you have a suggestion or topic you'd like to know a little bit more about, just shoot us an email to host@warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com, and we'll get an answer from someone for you. Until next week, let's all learn something new. And something new about safety is a great place to start.